welcome to Disco Elysium, part 11. Jeez. That was my fault. You might hear other noises in the background. Apologize for that. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started. First thing, I was going to talk to these kids, because I heard that a kid had a lead on where the next piece of armor would be.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
I already said that.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Maybe there's some kind of reason why they're laughing. An interesting reason, somehow tied to the case.
What are you laughing about?
The boy stops laughing and looks at his toes. Oh, okay. So now he's shy. Now he's not talking. Just wobbling around like he's afraid of something. You will never get an answer. That's how it is with these little idiots.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again.
You're bad with kids.
And what are you, Kidmaster General?
Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
Children are stupid.
You're stupid.
Okay, how about the policeman ask you something else now?
Okay.
I don't have anything to ask. Well, so much for that. I need to find that last trap. Is that it? No. I'm thinking it's somewhere in this area. This is quite a detour. Red ticket taker booth. Some money on the ground. What's in here? I have no idea what that is. But it's made by FALN, that means it's fancy. Oh, nice. Or change.
scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why not?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Why so many bullet holes?
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them.
Who are they?
Comrades, the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world.
Look at the soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one?
Person standing on
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Kim, who is who in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries.
Or maybe
What about the people from the coalition, the so-called moralists?
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
a cold sea wind blows away the figures.
That was interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I don't know if it'll be too late by the time we get back into town. Let's see. Near the canal you crossed southeast of the village. Okay, so it is past the village. That's good to know. This is it.
It takes you a moment, but finally, you spot the last of Morel's traps. This one's partially obscured by the reeds. The reeds bend forlornly toward the water. Some tufts have been crushed. Broken stalks, sickly pale against the darkness. In the east, the city center hums to you. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
Look closer.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
I do get a feeling that someone or something may have messed with the trap.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the phasmid, but still, Morel needs to know.
We did, sort of, promise to tell them, didn't we?
That's where my car is, okay.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
You'd report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
Unidentified middle-aged man, height 170, 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk, and hit his head against a metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, it seems like it was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from the Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Magine.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I'll try the public library.
I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
We'll try in the morning.
We should try again during business hours.
Anything else, Detective? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see as
Okay. Not quite time to interview that guy yet.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now.
I knew it.
I'm not surprised. It's already getting out of hand.
Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mescan origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
So you were on a date?
Our first, yes.
Its limbs were white?
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagined it, Lena?
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, "Lena, you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here." They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere.
That's all for now.
Ha ha! Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
So I checked all the traps.
Good. Okay. And?
One of them was empty.
Completely empty?
Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Are you sure you've exhausted all the alternative explanations?
Of course we have.
Wait, Morel. He may have a point. We have an obligation to rule out other hypotheses.
You're right, dear. It's a fair point. But what other explanation could there be? Pardon me. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
Did you know Gary was hiding the armor?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Thanks.
He's still glad his friend stood up for him. You have your suspicions, but nothing you can form into a viable explanation.
Okay, I've been thinking. I'm just not sure it was the phasmid that took the locust.
Really, officer? We can take it from here.
Yes, sweetie, we've already taken too much of your time.
Interfacing.
Hello. Lena and I were just discussing the design.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
I think a little hooligan called Kuno may have stolen the locust.
A little hooligan. But what would a child want with bugs?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
I'll talk to the little gremlin and see if anything comes up.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it. Even if it's bugs. Morel, it's been fun. Really. But I need a bath, and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
Is that him?
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
You gonna give me the money that I gave you a ticket for? I don't know how to follow up on that. It's just the lady in the police radio will tell me, or
You see a heavy steel.
what do we do there? I'm gonna try to talk to the lady upstairs. I don't know, hoping it won't be open. It's getting pretty late at night. Oh, it's still open.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring. As the porcelain meets the metal table, this does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Something to that effect, yes.
The phrase was used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Why say things like that? Machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Coping mechanism?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminese conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Were you afraid?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Yeah?
Your room again. You have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
It's quite impressive. How'd you amass such a hoard?
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
The collection includes Nacra, an opioid antagonist.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry.
Seem to have among other things Preptide.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments.
Like what?
Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy.
Are you on the gateway?
It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically.
Not able to be talked. Alright, sorry about that. Cool, I took some for personal use.
Huh? Motherfucker took my Preptide? Looks like you owe me one, officer. I'm talking serious corruption here.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can easily log it under confiscation.
Robbed by common highwaymen.
It's hard to tell if she means it in earnest or as a joke.
Where does that door lead to?
I have no idea, officer.
That window's new.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
I have other questions for you.
All right.
Talk about this so-called assault.
Not my favorite topic, but okay.
You sure you weren't raped?
I'm 89% sure.
Does that mean you're 11% not sure?
You know how it is.
Do you?
Do I?
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
Sounds like something happened and you don't want to acknowledge it.
Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be as flippant if I had been? How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
Now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Where's Lelystad? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat. Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was Occidental, not Mondial. I'll update the form.
You were both from Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
No love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
A military man, but not a patriot.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
You don't seem like much of a patriot yourself.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Moindi. The old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Oranje did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
How old was he, miss?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no, we even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Didn't know it was a competition, Ken.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
This is clearly sports for him. Something like archery or darts.
Still about getting hits right and not missing.
That's too pinball for me. I just like to get autopsies right on the first try. Where were we?
He's lying.
His eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
You liked it?
Quite a lot, yes.
Was it an Orkney's map of the waterways?
Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
For showing off to chicks. How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed, freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
Is this Orany's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Orani's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman in this?
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me precisely what these mean?
No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
Could it be love that did him in?
It very well could be, yes.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
He told me love did him in.
That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up.
Something miraculous is coming, he told me.
The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change. All right, let's see where this is going.
From way out in the northwest, he told me.
Cool.
We ordered a toxicology report. Any idea what that will show us?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Let's return to this later, miss.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
That's what she said, yes?
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of morality. He was 42 years old?
Where's this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Kim, how old do you think I am?
Huh?
How old do I look?
How old? 58?
Oh god, that's really old. Really?
You asked.
Maybe you're wrong. You're wrong about the deceased too. He was way younger.
He was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
I feel like I've been decomposing for longer than that.
On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately.
The ravages of Al Ghul are nearly as extreme as that of death itself, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
There's silence. Then a little more. Here it comes. Mercy.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go?
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Date of birth generator. Can't unlock anything yet. I would need to ditch something. +2 against enemies. Because I can forget one of these. Well, I need a skill point to forget it even. Whatever. I don't like how I'm getting a lot of minus logic. I feel like I need my logic for this case. Talk to Kuno. this will be down there. Guess we'll find out. Oops, that's the window. On the stairs. I might have to cut it a little short today. Just as an FYI. I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, you know how long it is. And nobody's watching it on Twitch, so that's a big spoiler for you. Alright, I don't think I'm going to worry about the karaoke right now.
It's you again. What is it?
So I talked to Classy about the tape.
And
Nothing. She stands by what she said.
that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Gold, it was just locker room talk, not evidence.
Locker room talk. What are you, fucking brain dead? I've been to plenty of locker rooms. They don't plan rapes there. What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
Actually, I think it made her a little nostalgic.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny. No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Okie dokie. This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawmen?
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
Maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah. I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
She's not some helpless girl. She handled the mercenary well enough.
Handled him? She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of.
Yes, yes, we heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her.
I think you had a lie planned, but she didn't play along.
I ask for your opinion. Not a bedtime story. Tell it to your grandma.
This tape was the last chance for her to do what was planned.
But she didn't. She knows she can't lie to us, unlike you.
Fantastic. So now, you remember how to do your job. I'm so sick of this piss. We should get something harder in here.
Yeah, guys! We should get a party going tonight!
Why?
Maybe not then.
Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation.
Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men, too, are growing increasingly silent. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the variables anymore. Who could? It's getting harder and harder to perform one's part in this sordid play. All it takes is a nudge.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her. Titus said, "Fuck on!" That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. no one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Alright, well, let's give it a shot.
Clausia is playing them like a fiddle. Tell them how bad they got played, and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it. All of them really good.
Okay, man, it's clear you're being played like a fiddle.
No, we fucking ain't, asshole. No one's fiddling anyone in here.
No, Glenn. I want to hear this. Who do you think is fucking fiddling me?
Who do you think?
I think you're losing it, Fiddle Man.
No. This fucking suicide carny is trying to get to me.
Suicide carny?
This ain't gonna work with Titus Hardy. Put the fiddle down. Or walk away. It's that simple.
He'll put the fiddle down. Put it down, officer.
I do not understand. This fiddle play totally fell apart.
Sounded like a madman, not a cop. I'll have to try that one again. Kuno's gonna be going to bed. All he does is do speed, so he'll probably still be awake. There he is.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
We got your hint. Found the key right under that stone.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm aiming for, yes.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me, you do.
By the way, I'm really digging the view here.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
Very well, I'll talk to him, but first I want to talk to you. I have a lot of questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad. Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Only if you promise we get to talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
Well, now I gotta interview the Sunday friend.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
There's something so different about him that I just can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
Just something mysterious about the way he talks and moves.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks.
Very mysterious.
Very.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
At least Kim got a kick out of that. That give you more logic. Silk robe.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot.
Hello, Mr. Vildrouin. Let's get started.
Of course. Let me just say it has been an emotional week for me.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
This is just the break we've been looking for.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Start from the beginning, if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Were any of them huge, like 200 kilograms huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
Did any of them look like drummers?
Drummers? Why, no. But then, I don't know what a drummer is supposed to look like.
I think we can drop the drummer angle. That was my bad.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men, women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
The but we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
Are you sure at least one of them wasn't a woman?
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
And why didn't you call the RCM?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for. I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
Of course. Anything I can do to assist the RCM.
What's an official like you doing in Martinez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stabilité. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
So you're some kind of bureaucrat?
Yes. As I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
What is this international community?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
What is the price stabilité?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering all my questions at all.
The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stabilité. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Okay, sure, I'll take a pamphlet.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the Moral Intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the Moral Intern's commitment to transparency.
I've heard of this moral intern before, but I want to know more.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
So what I'm hearing is that we're moral intern bitches?
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the Moral Intern.
Are you a moralist?
But of course.
But why?
Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
But what is a normal, stable world?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, Sur-la-Clé.
Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol? Is that part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
It's like every time I'm talking to people, it's like I'm choosing option D, none of the above. Is that moralism? I don't think I'm a moralist. Moralism sounds incredibly boring. I want more action.
Do you think peace is boring? What about prosperity?
Yeah, that shit sounds like a snooze fest.
My friend, that is only because you have never known the alternative. And I pray you never do.
The smile he gives you is straight off a campaign poster. The kind of smile focus group tested to appeal to the most gullible swathe of the electorate.
Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Sur-le-Clef.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
What makes Revachol Sur-le-Clé's darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-le-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Tell me about Orange.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Which one of them is more EPIS?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Okay, but outside of EPIS, what is Orange?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
Can't you just talk like a normal person?
About what?
About Orange. Let me know what they're like.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
If he knows so much about Oranje, maybe he also knows about Oranje's mercenaries.
Enough business. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
The man who was lynched outside your window was from Oranje.
Oh, that's unusual. The Oranjés are not the kind of people you associate with heinous crimes. It's such an upstanding and responsible country.
That's not how I would describe this guy.
Well, certainly one cannot rely simply on generalizations. That would go against our commitment to individual freedoms. And, of course, any loss of life is a tragedy. So tell me, what have you learned about the victim?
He was a poor kid before the Oranese government put him in a military academy.
It's the responsibility of any good welfare state to take care of its most unfortunate citizens.
They turned him into a psychopathic killing machine.
They gave him a successful career. What else has your investigation uncovered?
He liked to get high and brag about war crimes he committed.
Extremely distasteful behavior. I cannot condone either drug use or needless boasting. Suffice it to say, that is not how we do things in Sur-la-Clé.
His name was Lele. He was 42 years old.
Ah, what a shame. A man cut down in his prime earning years.
His earning potential isn't really important. What matters is he was a mercenary.
Aha! A condottiere. Yes, it's hard to believe they still exist.
He was a motherfucker and a killer.
Officer, you shouldn't speak ill of the dead.
It's okay, he told me so.
So you spoke with the victim before he died?
No, this was after he died.
The man gives the lieutenant a nervous look. The lieutenant raises his eyebrows, as though he'd stopped paying attention. Your partner's doing you a favor by pretending not to have heard your insane ramblings.
After he was discharged from the military, he joined a mercenary outfit named Krenel.
That is extremely unfortunate. Yes, it's regrettable that this practice has a history in certain Occidental nations, even highly advanced members of EPIS. But rest assured, the Orangese government has committed to producing a timetable that would lay out a path to transition to a professional army. Soon, there'll be no need for mercenaries like this poor man.
What kind of a timetable are we talking about here?
Oh, it's hard to put an exact date on it. I believe the proposal for the timetable is due to be completed around 60 or 61.
But that's like a decade from now.
See? That's the kind of progress that the moral intern makes possible.
As a merc, he killed a lot of people on the Seminese Islands for the sake of the Orangese pharmaceutical industry.
A great shame, yes. Colonialism is a dark specter in Orange's past.
Who's talking about the past? It's still going on.
Which is why the work of the moral intern is so critical. It is our great bulwark against another century of bloodshed.
And that's all. That's who he was.
As I said, the loss of any life is terrible, no matter who the person may have been. I do hope you're able to bring his killer or killers to justice. We must show that the rule of law still applies, even in Rivachol.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
What is this EPIS thing you keep talking about?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the moral intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
So it's basically like NATO?
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
Well, based on the measurement thing, I guess it's more like the EU.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the moral intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Okay, but like, what does it stand for?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the moral intern as a whole.
No, what do the letters stand for?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
You don't even hear the words I'm saying, do you?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is this going to be like this place here?
You mean Rivachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is Rivachol going to be a part of EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
Didn't you say that candidate members never become real members?
No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Fine, but what's his real name?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing in his apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
What view? It's dark outside.
Listen.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Someone's baby's crying.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay.
What about it?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I'm all ears, officer. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Thanks for the heads up, but my work here is done.
Of course. I'm sorry I couldn't be the break you were looking for. Good luck with the investigation.
I guess I can open it. I just need to find the key. Let's see if Kuno's still awake. Kinda doubt it. I'm surprised Kim hasn't ditched me yet. To do his debriefing.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Yeah. Why?
Why must we stop to look at this?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Because you see it. Finally. This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors.
Let the conceptual joy flow into your pupils and blossom into thoughts into your brain.
All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God. O Wallfather.
Kim, I must paint this wall, add even more beauty to it.
Huh?
He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
First, I know you're tired, Kim, but take another look at this wall. Draw nourishment from its beauty.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I must talk to Cindy, get the necessary materials from her.
If you must.
So I gotta paint graffiti and do karaoke. I'm liking these missions. I don't think Cindy will be up here. Oh, there she is. Talking to all the night owls.
Hello again, officers. Have
Cin-
you come to admire my mural?
Cindy, I need some paint, and your brush too.
What for?
It's art, for art. It's for art, okay?
Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about?
grand art. Art deluxe. The artsiest, most groundbreaking.
Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck off.
To crush a man's dreams like that? Hope you're happy.
There, Piggy. I guess art just isn't really you. 'Cause you suck. In life and in everything.
No, thanks for the motivation. See you later, Cindy. I need more conceptualization, I guess. Maybe there's some clothes that'll help me with that. Logic. +2 logic. Huh. Oh, it's a hat. Okay. It'll still be locked.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Guess it never was locked, but it's still extremely low. I'm gonna paint a self-portrait, but sort of, you know, from the inside, to show people what it's like.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, piggo.
Stop belittling me, Cindy.
Stop quivering like jello. Then you won't get fucked.
God damn it, Cindy. Quit hurting my feelings. What if I had some interpretive dance?
I think everyone would rather you didn't.
Okay, I won't do that. Please just give me some paint and a brush. I need to do some art.
You're a real sad sack. You know that? Go ahead then. Art it up. Just try not to hurt yourself. And no self-portraits.
Oh, thanks, Cindy.
Oh, but I'm all out of fuel oil.
Fuel?
Fuel?
That wasn't paint. It was heavy fuel oil, marked red for use by government vehicles.
What do you think I was using? Aquarels?
You know what you've got in that fuel canister you scavenged from your Kanema? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. Paint and a brush. You're ready to do this.
Oh, yeah. This feels like the night for art. Maybe I need to equip the brush. No.
The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind.
Mother of all walls.
You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we are supposed to solve.
It's beautiful. I feel really accomplished. see if Kuno's here.
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet graffito action, pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit.
Papa's bad to the bone, Kuno. Rotten to the core.
Kuno's part is. You're just shit at life. Now what's your case with Kuno?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about any missing locusts.
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, C.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
She sounds like she's about to cry, out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness.
What's this about?
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
Here, pig. We're full now. Performance buddies. Kuno can already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt now. Money debt?
Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his debt.
Okay, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Keep it real, Kuno. Thanks for the pants. What are the pants I have now? Minus savoir-faire plus electrochemistry. God, quite an outfit. This is the kind of cop I would trust. I gotta go look for Kuno's locust.
All around you,
crawling
the
with
hisses and
locusts.
chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Yeah, precisely what I was thinking.
Yes. I feel we are nearing a real breakthrough.
Whoa, you think the Insulindian plasmid phasmid is nearby?
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know?
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The phasmid is impairing your judgment.
I'm too excited about the phasmid. You should go talk to Kuno about this. Get him to stop.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything.
I know you took the locust from the trap and cryptozoologist set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
You say you don't give a fuck about bugs, then you go build a whole bug town.
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts.
Ah.
Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Stop!
You stop. It's like they're fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
City of Rage sounds like a cool place.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist? Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
Hold on, did I hear you right? You just said I.
Kuno made Kuno. Kuno says whatever the fuck he wants. There are no rules here, pig. I fucking say I when I wanna, and Kuno when I wanna. Kuno's free. Kuno's free to fucking die, bitch.
This is what he sometimes does when things get tense.
Making art is a worthy calling. I'm something of an artist myself.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Oh, don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window.
Me and Kono have discussed this. I promised I wouldn't do that.
I don't believe you.
For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important, and those locusts are the bait.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno. She doesn't know whether to be glad because Kuno is finally convinced of the lameness, or more worried because of his continued use of the first-person singular. Kuno is Kuno, not I.
I have to ask, what does City of Locusts mean?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck. Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
What's gonna happen with the locusts?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Alright, now that that's settled, I better be off.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
The Insulindian Phasmid.
Huh.
He recognizes the name.
Wait, you know what the Insulindian Phasmid is?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Yes?
So, I shaved.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps,
What is it? You can tell me, Kim.
I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the...
Damage. Yeah, damage. He means damage.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
No, nothing. Thought he'd want to do a recap. Let's see. Talk to the cryptozoologist. Titus. Can't remember what even happened with the church. Wait for the signal. Little girl in the fishing village.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
I had a chat with that Kuno kid. He promised to stop stealing the locusts.
So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
We've come too far to quit. I'm gonna restock the trap. Let's do this.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but,
Can I help you?
Gart, I need to sing karaoke now.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man. You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Why do you even have the PA system if you're not going to let anyone use it?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
It's not a prop, it's for your clients. I know it's used.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
I'm a real client. I've paid my bills and I have the right to use the karaoke machine.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
That's alright. I got my own song with me right here. Ha!
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled. Oh yeah. Time to do the damage. The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Drama. Look, Kim, I'm gonna sing karaoke.
I can see that.
Put your lips against the microphone and chest it.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Where should you stand? Hands. Where do you put your hands?
I figure I'll just psych myself out if I look around anymore. Oh, and I can't change my... Let me try to change my outfit and see if I can use... Box of locusts. Need something that helps my morale. This is gonna help my drama. the thing. Alright. Need drama. Minus drama. Don't want that. That adds drama.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
I'm ready, Gart. Hit play.
The air
Yes, I did
is
it.
thick with anticipation.
Here we go. The big karaoke moment.
Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-Saëns, though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
Thank you, ancient reptilian brain. There is silence now, and the deep voice came from. It has receded, returned only in dreams and nightmares.
This guy really carried you.
I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, Kim Kitsuragi.
The lieutenant doesn't say anything, but gives you a quick smile before turning away. He's incapable of blushing, but if he weren't, he'd blush.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
Last words?
Evening will come and we will sow the white sail. Workers of the world unite.
Yes?
Lieutenant, I have a confession to make. I am the murderer.
And what has led you to this conclusion?
My chest feels hollow, like I did something terrible.
That is a common side effect of overindulgence. It will pass. Besides, I doubt you could have taken down a hardened mercenary single-handedly. Don't take it personally. It's just that security guards kept on by large corporations tend to be better trained and better armed than officers of the RCM.
So you're saying I didn't kill him? But Kim, it turned out to be that I was the one racing around in my motor carriage.
The victim wasn't run over by a drunk driver. So, while I can't condone your driving habits, the cases remain unrelated. Look, it's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is identified and apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So, let's get back to it, shall we? Yes?
I thought I'd be able to do like a debriefing thing. I guess Lena went to bed. I guess I can go back to the... Such a weird outfit. I love this game. I mean, I have to go back to my house anyway. It's on the way there. Trap.
The trap stands empty amongst the reeds. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds, melancholy rustling. Rain drips from the netting of the trap.
This was the one.
Fantastic.
The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to, but if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
I'm looking for someone else, actually.
Oh? Who? Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
She's not going to tell me where the little girl's at I'm supposed to talk to. I doubt the little girl would be out and about now. Maybe it means that I can go in there during the daytime. Where are all the drunks? Lena's not there anymore. have a smoke with Kim. Thought he'd want to do a debrief, but it didn't seem like it. Thing is, I actually didn't take it. Check the church at night and see if there's something different. I don't even remember what happened. I know I met the crab man last time.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Coffee in the back. Something familiar about that. Coffee and stale cookies.
Have you any chance heard the Vejita say the password to a radio computer?
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
I'm doing a survey of passwords and passcodes identifying regional trends in the interest of public safety, of course.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
That is true. But what comes after death?
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it.
What was that about coffee? I feel like I've heard it somewhere before.
Look, man, I'm at liberty to talk about the sacred blaze of the mother's glorious heart, but not about the coffee. I think we're done here, essay.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
I'm not sure that's relevant. I'm not sure that's relevant. You sound like a broken record, Kim.
The speaker comes to life.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeat Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Alright, let's try this again. I think I might have the right password for the personal log.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Life after life death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Thanks, but I'm finished.
Sleep well, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Do you think this log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Data loss.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi, who are all these people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be her former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
She must be describing a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one who broke into that radio computer, and the storekeeper must be Plyson.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with the machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping pong energy drinks. Water. toothpaste, gum, also some canned air.
Gonna have to take that again.
Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
I can assure you I'm an expert circuit bender. I'm not breaking into your computer. I'm using it to access Coalition military data links.
There are no Coalition military data links. And even if there was, you couldn't access them over a civilian network.
You're right, I'm just a drunk cop. I don't know how to do anything interesting with radio computers.
No one asked you to do anything interesting with my radio computer. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
What is it?
I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Hey, are you the lead programmer of Whirlwall Untethered by any chance?
Yes. Or, no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager. That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
Have you seen the Crab Man?
Nope.
But you know he's around?
Yes.
He's seen you.
And?
And the Crab Man has seen you.
I don't care. I don't care about crabmen.
Why are there so many machines in this place?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR-1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit.
RAIN prefix, that's your radio computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That antenna is its processing unit?
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
No, I'm a master circuit bender. I know everything.
Then you'll certainly know that all radio computers perform operations on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
Wait, what's on air?
On the front. The unified front of radio waves. Licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means.
Like love.
And the AR-1, is that a good antenna?
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling you this. It calmed her nerves.
What are you doing with your radio computer?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Working on what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And you're not helping.
What are those bowls of water over there?
They are connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Right, I'll try not to touch anything. Next question.
Great.
What are you doing in an abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
What research?
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
A hole in the world? What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Hold on, does that mean we're living in a world that has holes in it?
I don't know. Are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But how do I figure it out?
We measure it by collecting data on its surroundings, on that which does exist.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
Ha! Hydrotransducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
Does it have anything to do with ghosts?
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts.
What about other kinds of supernatural entities?
I don't believe in them either.
What not many know is necroplasma exists.
Great. What are we talking about? And why?
Do you have any idea where this hole might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Why there?
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is where the Crabman lives.
I know.
You don't think Crabman might somehow be responsible here?
No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
You said the research isn't going well. Why not?
Because it's just trial and error. Trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
All I wanted to know, that's all I want to know about the scary 2mm hole in the world for now.
Great. Thanks.
How do you feel about adnonic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Have you even listened to it? Like, actually listened?
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they? Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Right. But how do you feel about a club for adnonic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
Oh, what do they want to build then?
Take a guess, why don't you?
A petting zoo, a place for animals.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
How do you feel about the manufacture of large quantities of drugs?
I see you've talked to them. Good. Drugs are illegal, and I'm not leaving this church. Especially because of some corrupt drug lab idea you've cooked up in that tent.
Wonderful. Now this place is also going to be a drug lab. Always something fascinating happening in tents.
His way to deal with this is, at this point, not to care. Do what you want. Wait. No. You can't say things like that when the lieutenant is present. Say it's a joke.
Well, guys, I was just messing with you.
Just messing with us. Right. Well, just to be completely clear, I am here to conduct a citizen's investigation into a radio anomaly, and I want nothing to do with the local vices of Martinez. Got it? Thanks.
Right, I'll let you work in peace now. Thinking I should at least check the tent. Not like these guys are probably going to go to sleep.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
At the church, I checked it out.
And? What happened?
I talked to the crab man.
Oh man! Who is he? What did you think?
Seemed okay, to be honest. Very spiritual.
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
He clearly enjoys physical activity. The guy climbs like a freak.
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah. Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
He keeps to himself, physically active. He keeps himself physically active, thinks spiritual thoughts, so doesn't drink. Who am I to evict such a person?
But he's likely up to no good. He's a crab man. A menace to society.
I doubt that. Besides, I'm pretty sure it's impossible to catch him climbing up there.
I dunno, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Don't worry, I don't think he really gives a damn about you or anyone else.
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah!
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
I was using the mainframe when Suna, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident, appeared.
A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
She did not like it, and the drug lab part didn't really help either.
What a pity! Those are my two favourite things in the world. Drugs and hypnotic music. I mean, and she doesn't like either one of them. Some people are just born retrograde.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Unity! Dance!
She made it very clear that she wasn't going to leave until her own project is finished.
And you can't just evict her?
No, I won't evict her. You're going to have to come up with a different solution.
Look at you, Honor Man.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist. Coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like hypnotic dance music?
She absolutely does not. She really truly despises it.
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
Perhaps if we drop the drug lab, it might be easier to convince her.
Oh man! But the drug lab was like an integral part of getting the club going.
For me, it was my favourite part. Chemistry's great. Besides, imagine all the drugs we could do if we had our own drug lab. I mean, hypnotic music is great and all, but drugs, they make you feel really good. When did you last feel really, really good?
right, I only ever feel good when I'm blasting some high-grade narcotics. Then I feel great.
See?
I refuse to throw her out, but I'll try convincing her.
Excellent! Good luck, my friend.
I know Noid has his signs, but what's the deal with Egghead there?
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
What's a master of ceremonies?
You know, a host, a declaimer of slogans. He's a performer, gets the people going.
Interesting, sire. A bit like you, then. An MC for short.
So how do you communicate with him?
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I, stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first, though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
Goodbye, officer.
Back to the heavyweight jam. Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Here comes the night. We're close. True, hard, full, core. Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
No, but seriously, I'm a little worried that it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
Just answer the question.
But there was no question. We're close.
True, hardcore!
Try one more time here.
Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent.
I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the Whirling Rags hostel.
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yekokata, the place to be!
Beginning to think this really doesn't have anything to do with what case.
It's the message, so listen and you will see. No illusion, the spirit is what you feel.
Alright, try that again later. How do I get out of here? Alright, I'm gonna need to quit here pretty soon, or in the next couple minutes. I just want to talk to the girl one more time. And I can go in the church tomorrow.
Hello again.
Your associates tried to get me to set up a drug lab. I'm guessing you knew of this plan.
I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
Instead, you opted to omit the truth. It's the same thing.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them?
That I'm gonna decide after I looked into this church situation.
Oh, right. That's wise. Take your time.
That didn't get me very far. Debriefing, or I'm kind of surprised he hasn't asked for one already.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now. The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest. Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you. Forever. On Faraday.
Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising. Rising. Above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The colors, the voices.
All stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
I'm building communism for all. This time we won't fail. Still doesn't see that it's the world that's changing him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time. Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work.
What's going on?
Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to undertake alone. You're going to have to get organized.
Thought the shack was nice and cozy as is.
Your level of personal upkeep is irrelevant. All that matters is your commitment to building the world republic. You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism, but it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground. They live underground. These communists aren't men. They're mole people.
But I'm part of the coalition authorities. Have I been persecuting communists this whole time?
Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a double agent acting in furtherance of your long-term objectives. Listen to this. Do you really think you're the kind of person an underground communist cell would entrust with a mission that requires such discretion?
Maybe.
Regardless, what's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all.
How am I supposed to find them if they're hiding?
Let your nose guide you, detective.
My nose?
Yes. Fortunately, communists are known to have a very distinct smell.
What?
We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction.
What does communism smell like?
Failure.
There's so much failure in my life already. I don't know if I can take any more.
That's why you're perfect for the job. No one's got a better nose for failure than you, Harry. What you're smelling is your own body odor, of course. Nothing a shower and change of clothes couldn't fix. People sometimes complain there are no real communists left in Martinaise. But you can smell their presence. They're out there, waiting for you to join them. Incidentally, during the waning days of the anti-centennial revolution, a number of Revacholian communards constructed elaborate hideouts in abandoned root cellars, hollowed out tree trunks, and even residential sewage tanks. This latter phenomenon gave rise to the early anti-communist slogan, "The future's bright when you flush out the white."
Okay, I'm ready. Let's get organized.
First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinaise. When you get near to someone with revolutionary potential, your nose will give you the signal to establish contact. Again, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic. You could also just look for more tangible evidence of communist activity. Images of Krasmazov and white antlers are usually a dead giveaway.
Hang on, what will I do once I establish contact with my fellow communists?
You'll discuss the monumental world historical task that lies before you. You'll engage in rigorous and spirited debates about Mazovian theory and practice. But mostly, you'll probably complain about other communists.
Isn't that last part kind of counterproductive?
Not at all. Complaining about other communists is one of the most important parts of being a communist.
Alright, let's get to it.
Here we go. Wake, brave worker. 'Tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below, and no masters o'erhead.
Alright. Apparently I'm organizing a communist revolution now. You gotta spend your time doing something. Anyway, I'm gonna save it here. Got a lot to do, including looking into the library about that dead body, a couple other things, see if I find that little girl that knows where the gloves are. So, anyway, glad you were able to join me, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow.